Okay, hi everyone. I'm Yvonne Shimshock, Director of Business Development at DeltaSoft. And this afternoon, I just want to give you a brief overview of how our product, ChemCart, is integrated with the ChemAxon components. By way of introduction, we're based in New Jersey, and we are celebrating our 15-year anniversary this year. Our flagship product is called ChemCart. ChemCart is a web-based configurable forms interface to research data. It's used often to very quickly build up applications. We also have a number of out-of-the-box applications that are based on ChemCart. And I've listed those here: compound registration, reagent and sample inventory. We have an ELN based on ChemCart, bioassay, structure activity browser, and a custom synthesis tracker as well. We also engage in a number of services in the cheminformatics and bioinformatics area. Some of these services include app design and development, Oracle optimization support, strategic planning. And just as others that are here today can't do their work without their partnerships, neither can we. So not only are we partnered with ChemAxon, but a number of other folks that are in the informatics arena. Okay, a little bit more about ChemCart. I mentioned earlier that it's a configurable forms, web-based interface to your research data. So what I'm showing here is an example of a project summary application where I'm pulling together chemical structures, results, master detail results. I've got some documents that I'm pulling out of my database, some images, and even generating curve fits or scatter plots on the fly. So this is the web interface. Then here in the middle tier, we have a ChemCart server, and then on the back end of the system would be your Oracle database. Chemistry cartridge then is on the back end as well to support your chemistry structure handling. Okay, I listed on the first slide our out-of-the-box ChemCart applications. You'll see that they really scan the breadth of the typical workflows of R&D, such as reagent selection, chemical synthesis, compound reg, sample handling, biological testing, and SAR. One of the take-home messages about ChemCart is that you can mix and match the chemistry components and tools that you're using when you're working with ChemCart. So for example, if you have the ChemAxon suite of products, your JChem cartridge, Marvin for sketching and rendering, or your JChem for Excel tools, all of these would integrate with ChemCart. If you have others that are your favorite components of choice, you could go ahead and use those with ChemCart as well. DeltaSoft has been working with ChemAxon for about 5 years now. And on this screen, I'm just showing a schematic of where ChemCart and the ChemAxon components are integrated. So for example, if I'm looking at a form and I'm displaying a structure, I may be viewing it in the Marvin for sketching and rendering. If I'm searching or inserting structures to my database, I'd be using the ChemAxon structure. And if I'm ChemAxon cartridge, and if I'm doing any structure checking or standardizer, I could be going through the ChemAxon tool for that piece as well. The ChemAxon cartridge also would generate structure calculations, formula, weight, names, properties, and so forth. And if you wanted at the end of the day to export all of your data out of the ChemCart form, you could certainly import that to a JChem for Excel report. You heard a very nice implementation this morning by Danny Harris at RTI. We have a number of joint customers who are using a variety of our solutions. And I just wanted to give you a few examples of some of the work that we've done with ChemAxon. In this case, we have worked with a large chemical company that needed to replace an aging compound registration system. So in this case, we provided the registration system, the ChemCart Reg, the JChem cartridge, and Marvin. Some of the key features of the registration are that the registrars have the review capabilities prior to submission, so to stop and check registration. Registration of compounds and their components are supported by the system. Duplicate field checking and validation of various field formats are implemented, and also a variety of registration reports have been created. The implementation details, the structures were standardized and migrated from another chemistry engine to the JChem cartridge. We also mapped and migrated the legacy data to the registration system. We implemented customer-specific business rules by way of setting up the required and optional fields for registration, and we also integrated the system with LDAP. In another case that ChemAxon and DeltaSoft worked together to provide a multi-site pharmaceutical company a reagent inventory system in order to streamline what their current processes were. The solution for this case was the reagent inventory system, the JChem cartridge, and Marvin. For this, we installed the system and the system components at a single site on the East Coast. West Coast is accessing the system as well. We loaded supplier catalog information into the system. We mapped and migrated legacy reagent inventory information. We also configured the system to work with barcode readers. So a lot of the move, check-in, check-out operations are done completely outside the interface. We also, in this system, integrated with an existing stockroom request application. So users can add items to carts here and then process through an existing internal application. We also, with this system, integrated with LDAP. Some of the key features of the reagent inventory: in a single screen, the users have access to both the supplier and the in-house bottle information. For the first time, this particular customer was able to perform structure searching within their reagent inventory system. There's a shopping cart paradigm here where you can add your either in-house or items that you wanted to purchase to a cart. Safety reports were a big concern for this customer. There are configurable categories, both at the bottle and the compound level, to aid in setting up these reports. DeltaSoft and ChemAxon also worked with a customer who really didn't have any dedicated IT support. University, they needed to do all of the things that other companies need to do in tracking experiments, registering compounds, and so forth. So we implemented the ChemCart suite of products, the JChem cartridge Marvin, and we put that out on the Amazon cloud for them. Some of the project details, again, we did the installation on the cloud, and then we migrated structures and biologies from local databases out to the enterprise JChem. One of the key features here was that the university wanted to be able to register from the ELN, and so some of the functionality that they have here is the ability to record the reaction, reagents, and products. There's an auto-calculate feature within the notebook. You can track experimental detail along with the documents and images that you might collect, and then go ahead and register not only new compounds, but also new batches as well. So the duplicate checking feature that we saw back on the registration slide is enabled here through the ELN. And then the final case that I wanted to mention to you was one in which a mid-sized U.S. pharmaceutical company needed an informatics system that could be accessed in a limited way by an external collaborator located in Europe. So for this, we provided an installation of the ChemCart suite, the JChem cartridge, and Marvin in the U.S. We had migrated data from Excel spreadsheets into the enterprise JChem, and then we created customer collaborator-specific applications based on ChemCart application level security and then Oracle security as well, so that data could be accessed by collaborators in a very controlled way. And one of the key applications in use here was the biology app, because that's where the collaboration was occurring. And the users were uploading binding, functional, in vivo DMPK data into the system. They were using the insert from Excel capabilities as well as the bulk loading. Okay, so I think I'll stop there. Do feel free to stop outside and get more details about these integrations. Thanks.